Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next level tactics. From offsite and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition. Now, here's your host, Nate Need.
Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the SEO.co podcast. I feel like we need jokes. I need to throw a joke in here for my own benefit and for those of our listening audience at some point so that it makes things palatable. I feel like we're going over topics that can be dry and boring. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll look up a joke. Give me just a second. Okay, so here's the joke of the day. Why are frogs so happy? They eat whatever bugs them. Okay, enough of that. So we're moving on to today's topic, which is one-way link building. And in a former life, back before Penguin and Panda, there was a very interesting and foolhardy approach to building links, and that was reciprocal link building. And it was, in such cases, you would basically say, hey, I'm going to give you a link on my site if you give me a link on your site, and there would be this link swap. And then, it gets a little bit more sophisticated, and also a violation of Google's quality guidelines when you say, hey, I'm going to give you a link on this site, but why don't you swap for me a link on XYZ site, which you also own, but it's also directly related to my niche, or vice versa. You give me a link on this site and I will give you a link on a separate site, which is also another tactic that folks can use. And reciprocal linking is a strategy. You're asking another webmaster to link to your site in return when they link back to yours. Now, this is not necessarily a bad thing. And for local link citations, it can be extremely helpful. So you got a local business, maybe you're a local retail establishment, restaurant, or something similar, and you're getting a site from the local link from the local chamber of commerce, and then you reciprocate by linking back to them. That's very natural and very normal. And that there are partnerships and joint ventures and things like that where a link with a logo or a description reciprocating back and forth makes sense. And there are also instances where if you're running an e-commerce site, you might be getting traffic from other sites. You could be losing opportunities on sales where you you could be reciprocal linking to someone who may not be directly competing with you, but is providing ancillary services. Maybe you are a website that provides shoes, and there's another site that provides socks, and you could say, hey, this is the site that we use to get all of our socks. And so there are opportunities to have reciprocal linking where it is very natural and it provides benefit to both. How much benefit? It's debatable. I mean, it's not just a one-way street where the link equity is passed from one site to the next and that's it. And so the other way is through one-way linking, and one-way link building is a strategy that has been around since time immemorial as it relates to the internet. And in this case, new sites get ultra-high authority bloggers and try to get one-way non-reciprocal links directly back to a page on your website. And the idea is to do so with full do follow, no sponsored UGC or no follow rel tags in there. And so the intent is to drive up the value of the links that you're acquiring, drive up your website using the link equity from the links that you're acquiring to do so. And obviously, one-way link building, as a general rule, if done at scale, is going to be the better method to actually grow your online authority. It's getting more and more difficult, particularly if you want to do it from niche specific sites who have high authority and who will link to you. Generally, if it's in the same niche, a lot of the high authority sites in that niche might look to you and say, hey, this is a competitor. Why would we want to link to this person? And secondary to that, you would also have a lot of competing folks that would look at you, or sites that are even not in your niche that would look at you and say, why is this even relevant? I'm not going to allow for someone to post from this site. I spent a lot of time doing my own site to get my own link equity built up. Why would I ever link out to another website? That's how we operate on our site, quite honestly. We do a lot of link building, our own link building outreach campaigns, try to promote the content that we naturally promote the content that we create, and go out there and spend a lot of time and effort and resources internally to build up our own link equity. And then we get, hundreds a month, people linking out or reaching out via email and saying things like, hey, I love your website. This particular piece of content's great. Can I get a link from it? Or can I write my own piece of content for your site? Well, if you look, we only have a few hundred blog posts. The website itself is not huge. And that's by design. We want to be very focused and targeted in the keywords that these pages are optimized for, but also we want to own our own website, and we don't want to have outside forces writing content for us. And there are a ton of sites out there that feel the exact same way. They're going to treat you the exact same way, and so finding those opportunities takes a lot of work. And so as you're out there looking to create one-way links, you can do so from social media, Reddit, StumbleUpon, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. Obviously, most of those are no follow, but it still has a signal to Google. Guest posting, directory sites, which those are less important than they have been in the past. In fact, one would argue that they add little to no value. But if you want to keep your website's content fresh, the best thing that you can do is create really good content and then go out and acquire links in a natural and good way. Now here comes the pitch. If you're ready to get one-way links or need someone to help you create those one-way links, check out our link building service. We do full white hat and as well as white label link building outreach for both agencies and direct webmasters and website owners. We'd love to have you be our next client, and we'd love to discuss your campaign goals. So get in touch with us. Thanks again for listening, and we look forward to having you on here again soon.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.